filmmaking, mirrors are a very common prop. They can expand the space, make the visual composition richer, and also reveal a character's inner world or create various atmospheres. But, the camera that should have appeared in the mirror. Where did it go? By studying scenes with mirrors in films, we've actually learned quite a few ways to hide the camera. So let's start from the simplest and work our way up. If you want to avoid the camera being caught in the mirror, the simplest and most straightforward way is to angle the camera to the side. After framing the shot properly with the mirror, have the actor look for the camera in the mirror and adjust the shooting angle. This way, you can get shots like this. If you want to avoid the camera being caught in the mirror even more easily, I would recommend using a medium to long focal length lens. Because its field of view is narrower, and just a slight adjustment can move the camera out of the frame. You can take a look at the comparison between different focal lengths under the same shot composition, and you'll clearly see the difference between the two. This method isn't difficult at all, but its drawback is also obvious. You can only shoot your subject from a relatively slanted angle. If you want the shot to be a bit more head-on, you can try switching to this special lens. In a previous episode, we talked about this special lens that can create a miniature effect. Because its image circle is larger than that of a regular lens, and it allows you to adjust the direction of the optical axis, you can set up your camera right at the edge of the mirror and then shift the lens to shoot from an angle, capturing a shot that looks like it was taken from the front without the camera being visible in the reflection. One shot is achieved by adjusting the camera position, while the other is captured using a tilt-shift lens. Isn't it obvious that the image taken with the tilt-shift lens looks much more straight on? Although the angle is corrected, you'll notice that as soon as the camera moves, it gives itself away. So how can we make the image in the mirror move as well? Sorry, it's a bit tricky to distinguish between real and fake here. The shot you just saw is our recreation of the classic scene from Contact where the little girl runs to get the medicine. The effect is truly stunning. But it's actually not difficult to achieve in simple terms. You just need to shoot an extra take. First, we need to film the scene that appears inside the mirror. During filming, the actor gradually approaches the mirror while the camera follows in front of them. Then, as the actor raises their hand to pretend to open the cabinet door, the camera synchronizes with their gesture and pans away accordingly. Next, for the shot outside the mirror, we need to first cover the mirror with a green screen. Then have the camera pull out from behind the green screen to film a take of the actor opening the cabinet door. Finally, in post-production, we just need to key out the green screen, horizontally flip the first shot inside the mirror, and combine it with the shot outside the mirror. This way, you can achieve this very interesting mirror effect. But are there any difficulties or drawbacks to this method? Yes, there are. When shooting, first, you need to keep the movement speed of both shots consistent so that the timing of opening the cabinet door matches up. If this isn't done well, it's very easy for continuity errors to occur. In fact, even in the example we just mentioned, Contact, if you look at this particular scene, you can see that the color of the actor's sleeve reveals a bit of a flaw. Alright, now that you've learned this method of hiding the camera, let's take things up a notch. In the movie Birdman, which I really like, there are many scenes where actors perform in front of mirrors. But when we look at the behind-the-scenes footage, you'll notice that the crew didn't actually hide the camera at all. So how did the camera completely disappear in the final cut? While we were puzzling over this, we found the answer on a channel called Inside, where they revealed the method used to hide the camera. Their method also involves shooting an extra take, but it's different from Contact. They composite the extra take into the mirror. In Birdman, the extra take was shot to replace things like awkward sleeping positions that would have broken the illusion in the shot. At this point, you might be a bit confused about how exactly this works, so we tried it ourselves to take a look. After filming the actor's performance in front of the mirror, you rotate the camera 180 degrees and shoot another take of just the background without the actor. Then, you flip the background footage horizontally, and by using techniques like masking, tracking, and color grading, you match the perspective, movement, and color of the two shots. Only then can you achieve a seamless transition. But doing it this way will definitely require a lot of work from the post-production team. So is there a way to achieve this so-called seamless transition directly during filming? There is a way, and the answer is... This filming technique, which brings the image from the mirror into reality, usually requires not only the main actor on set, but also a second persona body double. The double needs to have a similar build to the main actor and must rehearse multiple times before the actual shoot to ensure their movements are perfectly synchronized during filming. to avoid continuity errors. Not only do you need a body double, but both sides of the mirror must be arranged identically to fool the audience. For example, in this shot from Mission Impossible, the crew mirrored all props and set pieces in front of the mirror and recreated them exactly in the opposite space even. The 60 books on the bookshelf were made into mirror images, achieving perfect symmetry. Some directors want to expand camera movement, so in addition to meticulous set design, they even have actors act as mirror images of themselves. At this point, you might be wondering, do they actually find two identical actors? That's right. In Terminator, for this shot, the woman in white is facing her twin sister. This way, even if both faces appear on screen at the same time, it doesn't feel out of place at all. Of course, all these examples are from big productions with plenty of budget. If you don't have enough money to hire two actors of similar body shapes in your daily shooting, you can also refer to this Swiss short film called Mirror. They cleverly used a first-person perspective to shoot, avoiding the use of doubles while still making people feel very involved. Now that you have mastered the previous techniques, let's show you a video and see if you can find its flaws. In this shot from Triangle, not only does the camera not appear in the mirror, it even passes through the mirror, following the actor into another space. So, do you think they used special effects or a stand-in? In the behind-the-scenes footage, you'll find that they did indeed use a stand-in here. But they also used special effects to simulate the dirt on the mirror. Besides that, in order to achieve this camera movement through the mirror, the crew specially built a movable fake wall, allowing the cameraman to pass directly through the wall and enter the space on the other side, creating the illusion of passing through the mirror. So this technique is actually a very clever filming method. Besides what I just mentioned, I'm sure you've also seen in many movies the kind of endless tunnel effect created by two mirrors placed face to face, reflecting each other. This mirror within a mirror visual is called mirror abyss in film. So how did they manage to use two mirrors without revealing the trick? Well, the secret is that the camera is actually hidden inside the second mirror. A one-way mirror is something we often see in interrogation rooms. Its working principle relies on the difference in light intensity between the two sides. So, from the brighter side, what we see is our own reflection, just like with a regular mirror. But from the darker side, we can clearly see through the glass to observe what's happening on the brighter side. When filming scenes in a theater, the cinematographer places two one-way mirrors facing each other, sets up the camera on the side with less light to see through side and this way, the camera is hidden, allowing for shots where mirrors appear to layer endlessly. In fact, with creative thinking, multiple mirrors can also reflect each other. This can create even more interesting visual effects. For example, the band OK Go, which I really like, used 63 mirrors and 29 robotic arms to shoot this very fascinating music video in a single continuous take. I highly recommend you check it out. The reason why an ordinary mirror like this can repeatedly bring us unexpected surprises is thanks to the hard work of filmmakers. It's precisely because they handle the mirror's potential for revealing the camera so well that we often overlook just how unreasonable these shots would otherwise be. If you have even more ingenious methods, feel free to share them in the comments or bullet chat so we can learn from each other. So if you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, coin, and share it with others. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you next time.